So we are starting the chapter on data sufficiency and data interpretation, right? And I am your instructor Deepak Mishra. Basically, there are three areas in CSAT which are tested. The aptitude domain, 3 or 4 areas. I am writing it down. This is one area, data interpretation and data sufficiency. The second is a reasoning area, which we will do it tomorrow. The third is the general mental ability, what we call this as the quantitative aptitude part, right, which you all are aware. And the fourth one is the comprehension part. These are the basic 4 areas. We have got lots and lots of names of all these areas, but these are the basic 4 areas that are tested, right. So we will take it step by step, and today we are going to do this part. Okay. So tell me first is how, what do you mean by data interpretation? You have to respond a little bit. What do you mean by data interpretation? Right. You must be an administrator, or you will be an administrator in the future. Why is data interpretation at all needed? As an administrator, as a manager, why do you need data interpretation? Planning. Ultimately, what do you want from the planning? Then, development is a holistic term, but what do you actually want to get from this? The thing is, planning and all this, the ultimate aim of data interpretation is decision making. You have to make policy decisions based on unstructured data which is given, right? Structure it according to your need and then present it before somebody who wants or who is an immediate superior, right? That is the basic purpose of data interpretation. What do you mean by data sufficiency then? Not. So these two complement each other. This is how you interpret, and this is how you say, boss, I have got less data. No, I have got more data. Right? So these two complement each other. So I will give you introduction of these two things, and then we will proceed forward. Clear? So I am drawing a basic table, because whenever you get data, it is in the comprehended form. You have to arrange the data in basic formats. The basic formats are tables, then line graphs, then bar charts, and then pie charts, and mixed graphs as well, right. So tables means the data is given in the form of row column format. This is the basic format of a table, right. Line graphs, it will be in this format. Bar charts, in place of points you draw histograms over there, right. Pie charts, data is given in the form of circles, right. All these parameters are given over here. Mixed graphs can be in any form, in the form of any form of data is given. It may be given in the form of points as well, right. It may be in the form of a spider, right, where data juts out from a certain point and then you have to make the decision. Basic thing is you have to decide. Clear or not? Okay. Right. Now I am drawing a basic graph here, say table format, and I am asking you certain questions based on that. I am drawing a table first. Right, I am drawing a table for, so it is 17 and then say 1 105, 545, 550, 940. Okay. Can you tell me what this table is all about? Train, a train schedule. So I've done a train schedule. So train schedule must have the station. So these are the station codes. What is this? That is also a decision which I'm making, because you know if this is empty, then this must be the departure time. And if this is empty, then this must be the arrival time. Clear or not? Okay. And here, what is the distance? What is given over here? Distance. What kind of distance? Between two stations. But what kind of distance? This is the distance is cumulative distance. 0, 700, 1100, 1600. Which means you can say the distance between Baroda and Surat is 400. 1100 and 1600 is 500. So I have taken it in the short format. Now, what kind of things that you can, how many things that you can infer from this table? What can you infer from the table? The distance between two stations is what you have just told me. Any other things? Schedule of the train, that is a basic thing. But what more? You can say that, okay, sir, we can calculate the speed of the train. We can calculate the stoppage time at various stations. Clear or not? What can we calculate then? We can also calculate that between which two stations the speed is higher than the total speed, which two stations the speed is lower than the total speed. Right? This is all this we can calculate. Okay, so these are the things that we can calculate from a train, and based on that we can take another decision that, okay, do we need another train based on the passenger volume and various things. We can calculate various things out from here. Same is the thing which we are going to do. Various kinds of calculations are involved. Now, some shortcuts which you should know, shortcuts in the form of calculation techniques. Say, what do you mean by, what is the value of half? 0.5. What is the value of 1/3? 0.33. What do you mean, what is the value of 1/4? 0.25. We can also say, so 1/4 is half of half, so 50. 50 half is 25. What is the value of 1/5? 0.20. Right? What is the value of 2/5? 2 times 1/5, it is 0.40. If you convert in percentage, it should be in 100, it is 50%, 33%, 25%, 20%, something like this. What is 1/6? Half of this one. So 33 half is 16.6. So you can say 0.166. What is the value of 1/7? Okay, you don't want to remember this, but you know what is the value of 1/8? You can say, sir, it is half of 25. So 25 half is how much? 12.5. What is 1/9? You can say it is 1/3 of this one, so 0.11. Now, the data which you have missed, how can we get the value of this one? You can say, sir, the difference between these two is, take numbers as whole numbers. So 50 and 33, what is the difference here? 17. 33 and 25, what is the difference here? 8. 25 and 20, what is the difference here? 5. 20 and 16, what is the difference here? Nearly 3. So as we proceed further, the difference is constantly decreasing. So we can predict a little bit that whatever the value here, the difference between this and this value should be more than this and this value. Right? So we can say, let's take the mid value of this one, 166 and 125. What is the mid value of 166 and 125? What is the difference between 66 and 25? 40. 40 half is how much? 20. So add 0.125 to 20 is how much? 0.145. Take think of numbers as whole numbers. But we say, sir, if we write 0.145 here, then the difference is roughly same as this and this. But the difference between these two numbers have to be more than this one. So this value has to be less than 0.145 a little bit. It is roughly 0.143. Right? So we can judge basically on whatever we have done. If you want, you can just write 3 of them and then you can predict what all will be the values. Right? Some are factors of the previous of 2's and 3's. So then we can calculate it has to be a subset of 2's and 3's. Clear or not? These are some of the techniques which you can use, right, in calculations. More than calculation is important. What is important is interpretation of the data, right? What all is given over there and what all I need to find out from the given data, right? This is about the data interpretation part, right? I will do an exercise and then we will see how we can proceed further. What do you mean by data sufficiency? As you just told me, it is whether sufficient data is given to find out the requisite information or not. Okay. As a manager, why do you require data sufficiency? Again, the purpose is same, decision making. Now I will give you an example. Say I am somebody reporting to you, all say you, right? I am somebody reporting to you. I am a mid-level officer reporting to an IAS officer, you reporting to you. You asked me ki, my name is Deepak. You told me, you asked me, and we are all working in a, say, a car company, right? I am just a worker. Your boss tells you that, what's the name? Amit. So Amit, we are making 4 types of cars. In last month, how many cars we have made of brand A, brand B, brand C and brand D? Please give me the data in, say, 1 hour's time, right? You come back to us. We are just illiterate people. You come back to us. You say, Deepak, my boss has told me such and such. You are making brand A cars. Similarly, you tell to other workers brand B cars, brand C cars and brand D cars, right? And you have to give me the report. How many cars you have made in the last month? I come back to you and I say, sir, I have made this many nuts, this many bolts, this many tires, this many tubes of my brand A cars. Will that data, and I give you this much a volume kind of information. Will that data be sufficient for you to report it back to your immediate boss? No. Right? You can infer that I have made dies of, roofs of the cars as well, probably. You can infer whatever, how many dies I have made, that many cars I have made. So all the other data is redundant for you. Clear or not? That is what is the purpose of data sufficiency. Taking out the crap and retaining the useful ones is the purpose of data sufficiency, right? So the questions that are given in data sufficiency is of such and such type. Say a question is given, say write a question, what is the speed of the train? Okay, and there's a question given followed by 2 pieces of information, right? The first information is, say, the time required to cross a platform of length 500 meter is say 30 seconds. The second piece of data, the time required to cross a pole is 10 seconds. What is the speed of the train, right? And the options will be something like this. The first option, so I take it as 1 and 2 pieces of information, 1 and 2. The first option will be something like this. Question can be answered using one alone but not other. Option B, question can be answered using either alone. Option number C, question cannot be answered using both the statements alone, but can be answered using both of them together. And finally, D option, question cannot be answered. Right? So purpose here is not to answer the question, but to see how much data is required to answer the question. So there are two barriers here. First, to find out the answer if at all that is needed, but I don't think that is needed, and then to judge which options are required to answer the question. That is the purpose of the data sufficiency. Now tell me, so here it is very much important to judge the options in the mind. So A means it's a shortcut. A means one but not other. B means either of them, either this one or this one. So you can get the independent answers, but if this gives you the answer to the question, then you have to answer B. Right? Students sometimes make the mistake, okay, I am getting different answer from this one, I am getting different answer from this one, so the question cannot be answered. They mark D as the option, but that is not the case. We are getting an answer, although the answers are different, that is not a problem, but we are getting an answer to the question. That is the purpose of data of option B. Option C, question cannot be answered using this statement and this statement, but when you combine these two options, these statements, then we can get the answer to the question. And D is, question cannot be answered at all. Even by combining, we cannot answer the question. So judgment is very much important here. Now give me the answer of this question first. What is the answer for this question? A, B. So again judge it. A means one alone but not other alone, means question can be answered using this statement but not this statement, or this statement but not this statement. In some of the questions you might get two options from this single option as well. So don't get confused over that. So first option is one but not the other, matlab this statement but not this statement, or this statement but not this statement. B, question can be answered using this statement alone but not this statement, and this statement alone as well, but we cannot take the use of this statement, which means we are getting answers to the questions using both these statements. Whether the answers are same or different, that I don't care. C means combining it, D means cannot be answered. So tell me what is the answer to this question, whether it is A, B, C or D. A means question can be answered using one statement but not. Which statement gives you the answer to the question? First statement. How? Okay. So when we say the time required to cross a platform of length 500 meter is 30 seconds. So when a train crosses a platform, it takes its own length, it calculates its own length as well as the length of the platform. So when if the length of the train is L and the length of the platform is 500, we can say the total length that the train has to travel is L plus 500, and if the speed of the train is V, so L plus 500 by V is equal to 30 seconds. Clear or not? So this is the first equation from the first statement. So there are two unknowns here, but there is only one equation. What is the speed? Means I have to find V. So can we get the value of V from the first one? No. So first statement does not answer the question. Second, when it crosses a pole, it crosses its own length only. So in the second statement it will be L by V. What is the value? 10 seconds. Here also we are not getting the value of V because there are two unknowns, one equation. But when there are two unknowns, there are two equations, when we combine these two, we get the value of V. What is the value of V? You don't need to find. But we are getting the value of V when we combine these two statements. Clear or not? So which means the answer to this question will be C. Clear or not? Now what if I change this thing? The time required to cross a pole, instead of pole, I write this as man. The time required to cross a man is 10 seconds. Now what is the answer to this question then? What is the answer to this question then? Will it be C? Will it be A? Will it be B? Will it be D? Very good, very good. That's what I was expecting. That is what is known as judgment, right? So in case of man, if you say, sir, man's width is same as pole's width, so we will neglect that, and we can again write this as L by 10 seconds, and we can write the answer to be C again. We are making a mistake because I have not told you whether the man is moving or not. If the man is moving with the train, then the speed, the relative speed will be V minus V man. If it is against the train, it is V plus V man. So there are three unknowns, and I have not told that whether it is moving or whether it is still. So I have not told that, so I have more unknowns than the number of equations or than the number of statements given. So I can comfortably say that we cannot determine the answer to the question. In place of a pole, if I insert a man, the option changes. Clear or not? Right? I give you one more question on this one, and then we'll proceed further. Can I give you one more question? Okay. There can be questions where, but first is you should remember, or you should inculcate these options in the mind as fast, or whatever options given over there in the question paper, you have to inculcate this as fast as possible. Okay. The first, this question. My question to you is x equal to 2? First one. X cube is equal to minus 8. Second one. X lies between 3 and 5. And the options on this one. Is x, my question to you is the value of x 2? And the options are something like this. Question can be answered using one alone but not other. Question can be answered using either statement alone. Question can be answered using both of them together. We cannot determine the answer to the question. Why? You don't have to take iota and all that. You take very simple. You say x cube is equal to minus 8. So x is equal to how much? Minus 2. And here x lies between 3 and 5. Right? So it lies between 3 and 5, and in not including 3 and, even if I include 3 and 5, so we can say and if x is an integer, I just make a small here, x is an integer. So I say the values of x are 3, 4 and 5. So in the first case we are getting x equal to minus 2. In the second case x is equal to 3, 4 and 5. Right? So we are getting the answer to the question. I am not asking you what is the value of x. I am asking you whether the value of x is 2 or not. No is also an answer to the question. Is your class happening today? No sir, it's not happening. So I am getting an answer to the question. So x is equal to minus 2. So x is not equal to 2, which means I am getting an answer to the question. So question can be answered in first statement as well. X lies in 3 and 5. So the values of x will be 3, 4 and 5. Right sir? So it will be 3, 4 and 5. Any of the 3, 4, 5 is possible, but 2 is not a value. So we are getting an answer to the question from second one as well. Right? So we are getting the answer from both the statements using both of the statements alone. So the answer to this question in this case will be B. Clear or not, everybody? Right? Any questions, any doubts or anything, please ask me. Understanding or not? So there can be two questions. Is yes or no can be an answer to the question. Can I give you one tricky question now? Okay. Okay. My question to you is 3rd March a Sunday? Right? My first statement, 23rd Feb of the same year is a Sunday. My second statement, 5th March of the same year, because I have to be very clear here, is a Wednesday. So, and the options are something like this: A, B, C, D. A means question can be answered using one alone but not other. Question can be answered using either statement alone. So tell me, what is the answer to this question? A means using one alone but not other alone is your answer. So think a little bit. You might be correct, you might be wrong. Think a little bit and then answer. Is 3rd March a Sunday? 23rd Feb of the same year is a Sunday. 5th March of the same year is a Wednesday. So what is 3rd March? Is 3rd March a Sunday or not? We can get, but from statement 1, whether we'll get or not? Sure? Okay. So 5th March of the same year is a Wednesday. So 3rd March is what? Monday. So 3rd March is not a Sunday. We are getting an answer to the question. So we can get it. 23rd Feb of the same year is a Sunday. So if 23rd from the same year is a Sunday, then what are the things that are going on in your mind? Whether it's a leap year or not. So if it's a leap year, if it's not a leap year, if it's you have 28 days, what is 3rd March then? Monday. Right? And if it's a leap year, then 3rd March is a Tuesday. In both the cases, 3rd March is either a Monday or a Tuesday, but not a Sunday. So we are getting an answer to the question from statement 1. Did you got it or not? Whether it's now everybody will be confused, sir, it's a leap year. So we cannot say whether 3rd March is a Sunday or not. But if on careful analysis, we will see that if 23rd Feb of same year is a Sunday, and if it's not a leap year, then 3rd March is a Monday, and if it's a leap year, then 3rd March is a Tuesday. So it's in both the cases not a Sunday at all. So question can be answered using first statement as well. So again the answer to this question is option number B. Here it is not mentioned here as well. Leap year is not mentioned. It is not mentioned here as well. If it is mentioned. So we are saying that if 23rd March is a say Saturday of the same year. If it is a leap year, if it is not a leap year, then 3rd March is a Sunday. And if it is a leap year, then 3rd March is a Monday. Clear or not? So there cannot be yes no answer to the same question. So we cannot get the answer to that question in that case. But definitely we are getting an answer from statement B. So then the answer will change to statement number A. Option number A. So that you have to be very careful. Same question, the answer has to be either yes or no. They cannot be yes no answer to the same question, right? And when nothing is given, then you have to assume that it's, then anything is possible, leap year or no leap year. But what my purpose is whether I am getting the answer to that question or not, be it whether it's a leap year or not a leap year. Yes.
I didn't get that. It's a Sunday. And how was that?
The previous question?
No, this one. Saturday.
Okay. If 23rd Feb of the same year is a Saturday, and if it's not a leap year, then what is 3rd March? Sunday, right? Because when it is not a leap year, February is of 28 days. When it's a leap year, February is of 29 days. So in that case, then 3rd March will be Monday. So then the 3rd March will be either Sunday or Monday. So I am asking you a question, is 3rd March a Sunday? You are saying yes sir, no sir, depending on whether the year is a leap year or not. So you cannot answer the question. So I cannot use this statement, but I can definitely say, be it leap year or no leap year, 5th March of the same year is a Wednesday, then 3rd March is definitely not a Sunday, it's a Monday. So I can answer the question in that case. It's definitely say that it's not a Sunday, but I can answer. So that you have to be very careful in data sufficiency. They both complement each other, data sufficiency and data interpretation. Your calculation ability as well as your comprehending ability is tested in the data interpretation part. Your judgment ability is tested in the data sufficiency part. So what we are going to do now is to give you a small exercise of, there are around 30 questions, but I am giving you a time of 20 minutes, 20-25 minutes. Don't rush through the exercise, right? See what all you can do, right? Leaving a question is as important as attempting that one. Clear or not? So let's do this exercise and we'll discuss this exercise after say 20 and 25 minutes. Shall we start? Okay.